Hey guys, Joe here, back to the Word, today with a shorter book review on this work right here, Mariology, Past, Present, and Future by Paul Tambrino. I was sent this book for review by the Greater Heritage Christian Publishing, just finished it, wanted to share some of those highlights with all of you, really enjoyed it. But as we get into this in the short review here in a second, two things. First, this is a short review. I'm going to do a longer, more in-depth review on this topic, some of my gleanings from the book, and hopefully encourage maybe some of you to get this if this would interest you. On the longer video, I'm going to link that in the description. I also am going to put up a blog post with a written review with some of the notes from this and some of the things that I thought were important, and so you can get that in the description of this video as well. Second, I don't always do this, but I think it's important for you to understand two things before I do a review of this book. In both videos, I'm going to share this. And that's my denominational background, but also the denominational background of the guy who wrote this. When you're talking about a thing like Mariology, specifically within the Catholic Church, you need to know who's speaking and who's doing the review and who's talking, because honestly, I'm not the arbiter of truth. I'm learning with many of you. I'm not the final say authority. I want to come to these things with humility. I don't understand everything. And so I'm trying to speak charitably, graciously, but also honestly about what I see and what I believe. So first, my denominational background: I am Baptistic, confessionally, more towards the Reformed leaning side, graduated from a Southern Baptist seminary, and so I bring that perspective and those beliefs to the table when I'm reading a book like this. The guy who wrote this, Paul Tambrino, is very clear that he is evangelical Protestant from the Reformed tradition. He doesn't really fill that out whether he's Reformed Baptist or more Reformed in the Presbyterian sense. He kind of leaves that open, but just know that's his perspective on this as he talks about what should we do with Mary? And so how should we talk about her? And he's going to kind of talk through what Roman Catholics do with Mary and also what evangelical Protestants in the Reformed tradition, most notably for him, do with Mary. And should we make more of her, less of her? How should we treat her? So for those who have friends, those who are interested in this topic, totally check out my longer video and then also the short review that I'm going to do right here, but I wanted to share that with all of you. So let's hop into the review section right now. Try to keep it in 3 minutes or so. All right, so who is this for? At 208 or so pages, this is a great book for any Christian who is curious about Mary and what the church says about Mary, or would benefit from a study on Mary. So maybe you have Roman Catholic friends, you have those around you. There's a university near me that has Marian Catholics at it, and so it's helpful to understand these things. So I was really thankful that someone put together a book like this that I was able to read. And so it may help those who want to reach their Catholic friends, understand what their Catholic friends believe about Mary. And I actually learned quite a bit about the Roman Catholic Church through this book. So for those who are curious about those things and would do a 200 or so page read, this would be a great book for you. Second, who wrote it? It was written by Paul Tambrino. He's got a doctorate. He's got lots of things. So go to the publisher website to read this whole thing. I'm going to abbreviate briefly. He's President Emeritus of Iowa Valley Community College District, former academic vice president of Warren County Community College. Prior to becoming an academic administrator, he taught accounting and more recently theology at several colleges and seminaries. He served in the U.S. Army Reserve, writes a weekly newspaper, and has written several journal articles and the books Ask Augustine and this one, Mariology. He holds a Doctor of Philosophy and Theology from Trinity Seminary and a Doctor of Education from Temple University. Paul was awarded honorary rank of 3-star general at the U.S. Air War College, Air War University class of 97, and he is the Paul Harris Fellow in Rotary International. Today, he's currently, I believe according to this, retired, and he enjoys spending time with his family, rooting for the Yankees, and spending and sharing and spreading God's word. So that's the publisher website on that. With the 1 minute I have remaining, I want to share some of the highlights, maybe a minute and a half. I'll extend it. What stands out about this work? First, it's a repackaging of his dissertation. So it's pretty easy to work through. It's not really that dry. I thought when you think dissertation, doctorate, you think dry. This is a repackaging of his dissertation. I didn't find it dry. It's clearly labeled, easy to get around and to know what's going on. It's a topic not much covered in the Protestant church. He says that right up front is really from Roman Catholics since Vatican II, or really we don't talk about it much in the Protestant church. So he's doing a doctoral work and studying something that we don't often hear about. And so this is valuable for those reasons. I found it to be well informed. This guy has done his research, and I love the format of the book. Check out my longer video review to see what that format is. And I found a lot of cool things and learned a lot from this book. Also, terminology stands out. It was super helpful in its terminology that he clearly parses both. He shows Protestant, Reformed, evangelical words and what we mean by them and what we say by them. And he also digs deep into what Roman Catholics believe, what they say, what they mean by their words, what they're talking about, how dogmas, how doctrines, how systems work, how the magisterium works. I learned a lot about those words through this book as well. And then also, I love the conclusion and the chapters, the conclusion chapter and the claims at the end. He makes some things very clear about why did the church, the Roman Catholic Church and the Protestant Church land at different places on Mary? Is there a middle ground? Can we reconcile on certain things? And why can't we reconcile on certain things and come together? Why are there differences? And he gets into areas of justification, of grace, of salvation, and underlying doctrinal issues that really land us in those different camps and show us and contrast both. And so I really love the book for that reason. Time right there before 4 minutes. I extended it a minute, but really enjoyed this book. As I said, this was sent to me in exchange for an honest review. I don't know if I saw this on a bookstore website, I would have bought it. But having received it and read through it, I believe I grew a lot because of it. So if you're watching this video and you're just curious, like, I don't know what I need to do, I would say check out my longer video or go buy this book. And after watching the longer video, I would still say go buy this book because he's going to say things really well that I'm not going to be able to fit in that video and share content-wise. I think I'm a better, more well-informed Christian, pastor, and leader because of the book and because of work done by people like him in this manner that treats things graciously but also honestly and tries to be as clear and as researched as possible. So with that recommendation, there's a link in the description if you want to go check out this book. Also for the longer video, just really enjoyed this study and learning more about it. So until next time, continue to read, treasure, follow the word. God bless, and I'll see you guys soon.